chat, viewers, community, friends, family, people I know, loved ones, VIPs, people in general, mods, everybody. There's no sugarcoating this one. No flashy intro. No flashy outro. No segments. No craziness. No flashy gimmick. This is just going to be as raw as it possibly can. Folks, the gaming industry is fucked. I mean, the only thing I might add to this is maybe my webcam, so you guys can see me a little bit. Hang on. That's literally possibly going to be the only thing. Oh, I guess that's the wrong one. Hang on. Hello. There you go. I'm just in the corner. Small corner. Or I guess we'll do that this way. This way I'm a little bit bigger. There you go. I mean, the title says it. It really does. There's nothing I can do. It's awful. It's terrible. It's awful. And there's not much more that can be said. It's just bad. It's just bad. All of it. All of it's bad. I'm turning off the webcam. Literally everything is awful in the gaming industry right now. All of it. Every console, every PC, every PC website, every PC service, every console service, every console homepage or operating system, or just anything related to gaming right now is just like constantly standing on a landmine that's about to go off. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's terrible. And I really just want to vent more than anything. I mean, the floor is open if people want to discuss, if people want to talk about this, if people want to chat. But I'm so used to people never tuning into my streams to the point where I've just kind of used streaming as a way to sort of vent and get things off my chest. So, which I think arguably is healthy, you know? because it's better to, get everything out and all the toxicity and all of the craziness than it is to, hold it all in. So, and bottle it up and let it fester and turn into some sort of disorder or mental illness or physical harm or an outburst or, something stupid. So, I don't know. So, let's discuss it. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. And the stream won't be that long. In fact, this whole podcast or audio discussion won't even be that long. And I'm not even going to run ads on it or anything. Like I say, this is just, it's all terrible. So, I guess let's just start. All right. So let's start with PlayStation. Let's just get the big beefy one out of the way. It's awful. It's a mess. First, for those who don't know, and I will catch everybody up to speed as we are talking. PlayStation announced about a week ago now. It's been about almost a week, I want to say. It's, in fact, I can even check their Twitter officially when they posted it. Yeah, it's been over a week now, July 1st. They announced that on July 1st, 2026, that physical disc production for all PlayStation games and any brand new games would cease to exist in January 2028. 2 years from now. Or I guess if you're being technical, about a year and like some months and change, but like 2 years. So any brand new games after January 2028, all of them, digital only, with PlayStation. All of it. And their actual blog post, which I can pull up right now, right? Let me pull it up right now. Physical disc production ending in January 2028 for new games releasing on PlayStation consoles. In response to shifting trends in consumer preference, new games will release on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital-only formats. So, as consumer preferences in the broader entertainment industry continue to shift away from physical discs to digital, physical game production for all new games releasing on PlayStation consoles will be discontinued starting January 2028. Following this date, new games will be available on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. This transition has no impact on games that are released or will be releasing prior to January 2028. This is a natural direction, quote unquote, for Sony Interactive Entertainment to adapt to consumer trends as the general preference for digital media significantly outpaces physical discs. Which, no, but that's a fat lie. But sure. This transition will enable us to align more closely with how most of our community prefers to access and play games. Not true, but okay. We will continue to prioritize our resources and drive innovation in how players can access games and provide choices as to where players prefer to purchase new games. Also not true. Whether that's at retailers, debatable, or PlayStation Store, We remain committed to delivering a world-class gaming experience to our fans. We thank you for your continued support. So, yeah. Not fun. Something you guys gotta understand, and I know that my audience, at least, is a variety bag. Some of my audience is younger, some of my audience is older, some of my audience is sort of in between. Some of my audience in general is built a little differently. I am fully aware of that. As such, something you guys need to understand is PlayStation, since their inception, since even before they were born, before the PS1 console ever existed, back when there was supposedly the Nintendo PlayStation prototype to play physical CD discs with a Nintendo PlayStation console, discs and physical games have been a thing and a constant since even before PlayStation showed up. Physical media has been something that PlayStation has been the king of for generations at this point. I can literally say generations. Like, not years, generations. There have literally been multiple decades where PlayStation outright has put out more love and more gusto and more oomph in terms of physical media than anybody else. And that was Sony's bread and butter. It wasn't just games. It was CDs. It was cassette tapes. It was Walkmans. It was, MP3 players. It was stuff to play like Blu-rays, DVDs, HD DVDs, if you remember that. Just everything, right? And Sony has always been a Japanese company about keeping the sort of the traditions of what works and updating it for the modern society, for the modern level. Every generation they've had physical media, right? But them ending production on physical discs has definitely shaken the community, the gaming community as a whole. Because, look, before I start saying a bunch of shit, I'm going to tell you all right now. If you buy your shit all digital, fine. Cool. More power to you. You have an all digital PS5 and an all digital Xbox One or X or S or Series S or whatever. right? Or an Xbox X, cool. You prefer all digital, more power to you. But for people like me, and for a lot of people, physical media is something that isn't just something that is about just listening to CDs or listening to music or watching a movie or playing a video game. It's the act of like actually owning something. It's the act of actually physically owning a product. And not just in like the, oh, I own this game, I should be able to play it and return it and replay it for as however long I want and yada yada. No. A lot of people, whether you like to admit it or not, understand the concept of physically touching and owning a product can attach emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, in some cases sexual, and for a lot of people, meaningful connection to those products, right? So, like, let's even take PlayStation discs out of the equation for a moment, right? Let's take it out of the equation. Let's say that for someone like me who owns Mountain Dew merch, right, and swag, or I've gotten sent, like, you know, various things from companies over the years, or any of my posters or physical movies, right? Or just snacks even. Let's go with like a snack or cup, right? Like a simple cup. I'm gonna put the webcam back on for this bit, right? Imagine for a moment this cup, right? Just a normal drinking cup, right? Perfectly fine, physical item. I am physically gripping the handle with my hand, drinking water. Right? Now imagine that they stopped production on all cups in the world after January 2028. All cups. Every cup on a global scale, just done. Okay, well, how are you going to drink your water now? Yeah, I could use your hands. You could use a jar, but anything basically that's considered a cup, just gone. Or a container even. Imagine any container. Imagine for a moment, not sponsored by the way, imagine for a moment deodorant, right? Use it for your armpits, right? You make sure that you're not sweaty. You know, you make sure that you smell good and make sure that you're taken care of, right? Just normal deodorant. Everyone uses deodorant every day, right? Imagine you're using your deodorant to make sure you don't sweat during the summer and stink, and, you know, make sure that your armpits don't get smelly and that you actually don't get banned from that anime convention you wanted to go to. Suddenly, poof, it's gone. Forever. Deodorant. All of it. It doesn't matter the brand. Doesn't matter the company. Doesn't matter the products. Just gone. Poof. Yeah, and you got a year notice to stock up on all deodorant before it just ceases to exist. Like, people don't understand how fucked up this actually is. People do not understand how messed up this is. Right? And no one cares. Or, well, people care. But the problem is that there are two sides to this coin. People care for people like me who like the idea of physical discs, physical media, playing and owning their games. This way, if they don't like the game or they get bored with it, or God forbid, trade in a new one towards a new game that they physically want to own, then they can't do that no more. What if you want to share the game with your friend? Oh, well, that new game that just came out, can't do it. Sorry, can't share a digital copy with your friend unless you share your password and your email account and, enable game sharing and other stuff on other consoles, and it's all this red tape, right? Whatever, you get through all the red tape, you have your digital copy of a game that you're sharing with a friend. What if a company, who has been known for doing this, by the way, suddenly decides, yeah, we're going to delist your game, meaning that it ceases to exist effective immediately. Oh, and we have the right to remove it from your account anytime we want, and you don't get any refunds. So all that money that you spent, years of DLC, in-game cosmetics, skins, weapon packages, levels, characters, maps, all that time you spent playing that game, poof, gone. That's it, just gone. I think that's fucked up. So, and then giving us basically a doomsday countdown clock about it is even more fucked up. So, but that's not the only thing that PlayStation's doing that they're deciding to be, greedy fucking assholes about it. Nah, here's the other thing too. Now, this is the thing where this is a little debatable, right? If I'm being honest, and I'll show you. Oh, wrong thing. Boop. An update on the PlayStation Store for PS3 and PS Vita. Changes started this year in select markets, followed by global changes next year in 2027. After nearly 2 decades of supporting the PS3 console generation, we wanted to let you know we will be closing the PlayStation Store on PS3 as well as PlayStation Vita. PlayStation Store and PS3 will close in select markets starting this year, followed by global closures for PS3 and Vita next year. That means new content purchases will no longer be possible once the PlayStation Store closes on these devices. To ease the transition, players will still be able to download previously purchased content after the closing date for the foreseeable future. As the PlayStation Store continues to evolve to support modern commerce systems, including updated payment processing standards, PS3 and Vita will no longer be able to support these updates at the level required. As a result, we will need to close PlayStation Store on these devices in the timeframes as followed. Now, we know this news may be disappointing to PS3 and Vita users, who hold a special place in their heart for this generation of gaming. The PS3 and Vita represent an important era in our PlayStation history, so this was not an easy decision for us to make. That's a lie. As we continue to expand the PlayStation experience on newer devices that most of our users are playing on today, we need to focus more resources on delivering the best gaming experiences on those platforms as we look ahead towards the future. And then finally, they actually do a heartfelt message saying, to our amazing players, we want to give our heartfelt thanks for your ongoing passion and support, which has helped inspire us to shape PlayStation to what it is today. We're excited for the future ahead and continue to push the boundaries of play. We look forward to having you on this journey with us as we explore new game worlds and new adventures that have yet to come. So, if we're being honest, here's the thing. This has already happened once, if not twice before. The PlayStation Store on PS3 and Vita tried shutting down a couple years back before this. And then because of fan outcry, they decided to expand it and basically delay the inevitable. So they were like, okay, it's pretty clear that there's a lot of people using the PS3 and the Vita and playing their games. We will delay closing this and we will reevaluate this at a future date. Right? Pretty simple. Well, this is that future date. So they kept everything open. Now, here's the thing. And this is what I want to show you guys, right? So, if I may. If you have a fat model PS3, right? If you have the old school fat model that has the backwards compatibility for PS2 and 1 and all these things, right? I want you guys to understand something. Okay? Oh. Hang on. Nope. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh, okay. We're really doing this. Okay, hang on. Cool. Give me a sec. Boom. Alright. I want you guys to understand something. Alright? And just hear me out on this. The PS3 released in Japan November 11th, 2006. In North America, that was November 17th, 2006. In the PAL region, 2007. It was discontinued 10 years later in March and October of 2016. I need you all to understand something. The PlayStation 3 is 20 years old almost. It is almost legally old enough to buy alcohol. And look, as powerful as the almighty supercomputer that was the PS3, in its many different formats, because people forget, people actually used and bought PS3s as data servers for their companies and actually used it as computers, legit. And you still can to this day. It sucks. And I'm upset that the PS3 and the PS Vita stores for the PlayStation Store are shutting down. And it really does suck. And it's awful. And I am sad about it. I'm upset about it even. Because I have a very large library of PS3 games. That means I'm going to have to spend some money on the PS3 and actually, like, finish my endless backlog, if you will. So, and I have some physical PS3 games as well, too, to this day. Now, I don't have a fat model PS3 like I used 2 years ago. I unfortunately have the Slim. But that doesn't mean I still can't play plenty of really good games on there. Right? Here's where I wanted to address the Sony fanboys, including myself. right? Because even if we check on the Vita, right? The PlayStation Vita came out in December of 2011. And then, it came out actually on my birthday, February 15th, 2012. Or 2012, yeah. So, that means that the Vita is a little more than 10 years old at this point. The Vita, if you want to count it, is about 14, 15 years old. Just about a preteen, about to start into their teen years. It sucks having these stores shut down. It really does. But at the end of the day, these systems are old. And the smart thing to do would be if Sony and PlayStation just, made one universal PlayStation Store integration operating system and software, so that no matter how old your console is, from the PS3 to the PSP, the Vita, the 4, the 5, whatever, you could still buy games and DLC and stuff and enjoy said things to this day and enjoy the endless backlog, right? Which would be great, right? Pretty easy. But unfortunately, PlayStation's not going to do that, because that requires money, that requires time, effort, and unfortunately that requires pissing off Visa / MasterCard, or I think it's Visa that owns most of the companies out here. Like in as far as they own most of the actual debit and credit card, like banks and units and stuff like that. So point is, the one thing you never do as a business is basically piss on the company that's even helping you get your revenue to this day. Right? And at the end of the day, Visa and MasterCard have more saying power than a American and Japanese gaming company. It's the capitalistic society we live in. It sucks major ass. But, this isn't the first time people are getting pissed off at Visa or MasterCard or these banking companies. So, and the other thing too is, again, the safe thing would be to just update the softwares, update the operating systems, update it so that it meets compliances and standards and safety regulations for people's card information and stuff. No. Instead, they'd rather not do that. So, it sucks. I have a big PS3 and Vita library that I've collected over the years, even without PlayStation Plus. So, accessing those games and downloading them and doing all that I could still do. But as far as making new purchases, I gotta be honest, I haven't made a new purchase digitally on the PS3 or Vita storefronts in about years now. If I'm being realistic, transparent, and honest. I'm not saying that you should flood the PS3 and Vita stores right now and spend your life savings and your grandma's credit card on, you know, digital content that could easily get revoked at any given moment. Yes, we will get to the movie thing in a minute too. But, you know, I hate to say it, but like, Hakuna Matata, food is more important, water is more important, like, not feeding into these data AI centers are more important. Like, there's more important things. So, and that's why, while I am upset about this, and this does still suck, I'm surprised they lasted as long as they did. So, that's the part that is fascinating, at least for me. So, and that's the point. Also, I gotta increase my audio bit rate. What the fuck? All right. Settings. Audio. Oh, I can't. Audio bit rate. Okay. Sure. There you go. That's weird. 128. Okay. God, fiddling around with this stuff is dumb. I'm just saying. There. So, yeah. And then the last thing is, obviously, and I'll bring this up as well too, if you give me just a sec. So, is here. We'll just do this. Here, I'll pull up even the Yahoo account. Which is wild that Yahoo had to... Alright. So, PlayStation users actually will soon lose access to more than 500 movies that they purchased from the PlayStation Store. The shocking update from Sony means that users can no longer truly own digital purchases despite them paying for it. So there is like a weird reason why this is happening, and I can actually kind of explain it. I won't get too into it. But it's weird to say, but essentially, not only is this not the first time this has happened, but it's weird because licensing agreements, and specifically copyrighted licensing agreements, are weird as hell. I'll explain it. I'll give you the TLDR, basically, but here's kind of what's happening. The reason why 500 movies from your PlayStation accounts that you've already paid for are being removed is because Studio Carnal, the people behind a lot of movies, like this company, right, that does a lot of the distribution and licensing and distribution for a lot of movies, they're the ones that are requesting everything pulled. So, and they own quite a huge chunk of movies. So, not like every movie ever, but like they've owned a lot. So, and you know, they've done a lot of restorations. They've done some new like Hollywood stuff. But like they've owned a lot of movies, both old and new. So, and what's really weird is that Studio Canal does a lot of overlap licensing with like companies themselves. So, and as such, they do a lot of licensing specifically outside of the US. And because a lot of movies outside the US have to get released differently compared to, say, you know, other companies. Yeah, that's kind of the beef, if you will. So, which I think they're owned independently. Yeah, because they own a lot of subsidiaries as well, too. So, but essentially, distribution rights. Essentially, a lot of distribution rights are being, unfortunately, wonky about it. This is not the first time like stuff has happened with movies specifically. So, actually, while I'm on Google, you know what, we're doing this live. Okay, so they own themselves, which is a subsidiary of basically the French company Vivendi, which if we search that, oh, Vivendi, Universal. Yep. Cool. So that's part of Universal. Yep. And they are a massive conglomerate through the French and Canada's thing. But they previously owned Universal Studios, UMG, and Vivendi Games, and a few others. So, yep. So, if anything, if you really want to get absolutely technical as to why this is happening and why a chunk of the movies that you love are disappearing from your PlayStation accounts, yeah, that's the reason why it's happening. So, now I will kind of briefly touch on this because I gotta be honest, I don't have a lot of experience with this, but I will be transparent and honest. I never owned a lot of digital movie content or TV shows or anything from the PlayStation Store. Typically, anything I owned was either something I got for free from like a voucher code as like a bonus or something, or something that I downloaded for free years ago, like a free episode of a show or something, to, I don't know, throw onto my PSP or my PS Vita at the time. And just carry it around with me, more or less. Have something to watch, like for situations and whatever. So, or vacation. Which is funny because I don't own a lot of movie or TV show or digital related content, right? In fact, I can even do this. I'm not going to do it fully live, but no, you can't even do it on their website. Okay. I thought maybe you could, and like you could actually sign into your PlayStation account and like actually see all the movies you've downloaded and owned. But I would have to do that like another day, I guess. So, which is weird. I could try signing in real quick. Yeah, give me a second. Let me, for shits and giggles, let me sign into my account. Hang on, what's that thing? Hang on. Alright, yep. There's that. There's that. Yep. Because I highly doubt if I go to like my download list, it's not going to show on the web browser I guess my movies. Yeah, it just shows my game library. It's not going to show my movie content. Yeah, I would have to actually like maybe game library and then just yeah, no, it would not do that at all. So that's beyond wild. So I find that funny in a sense. So that to me is actually kind of funny. So yeah, no, I do not have a large digital movie or digital TV show collection on the PlayStation Store. So for me personally, while this does suck, movie and TV show licensing rights are really fucking complicated. And while this has nothing to do with gaming, it has to do with the PlayStation Store. So PlayStation's on fire, right? And everything they've done is absolutely atrocious. And if you even go to PlayStation's Twitter page, right? I'll just briefly show you. Showing is better than telling. This was from the original post, by the way, on June 1st at 7 a.m. bright and early. And it has 173.4 million views. So, yeah. As you could tell, people are upset. I haven't seen this one, by the way. I like that one. I'm going to save that in future. Boop. But, like, yeah, people are upset. And then you would think, like, a week later, you know, you would think things would calm down, right? No. Posted Once Human trailer, right? This was posted today, about 5 hours ago. So yeah, PlayStation is very royally fucked up, and a lot of people See? Yeah. So yeah, a lot of people are still very upset. And so am I. And this affected a lot more people than they realize. So, yeah. Yeah. Now, this is not the only company that is royally fucked up. I promised we'd get to everybody. Because everybody is fucked up. Oh, no. PlayStation is not alone on this dumpster fire shit stain of a dying horse that they're on. No. It's Nintendo and Xbox and PC, too. All of them have fucked up. Hence why the title of this podcast. Or live podcast, I guess. Let me show better than tell, right? Let me show better than tell. 'Cause we're gonna really jump into this. So, let me scroll down. Let me keep going. Here we go. Okay. Xbox players, it's your turn next to get fucking roasted. Alright. Xbox has done some shitty stuff as well, too. Right? A while back, they were raising the prices of Game Pass. That sucked. It is what it is. There's no getting around it. They closed some studios a while back. And they've closed studios fairly, like, a little more frequently, more than once, right? And there's been a lot of issues with Xbox because the new CEO of Xbox is literally trying to basically rip apart the infrastructure of the entire house and rip apart everything, bulldoze it, and basically make a new house is the equivalent of what they're doing. They're ripping apart the support beams. They're ripping apart the infrastructure, the pipes to the water, the natural gas of the stove. It's everything. So, or to quote Etta and Eddie, is that the support beam to the house? What's the support beam? Today's been a day, and then the house falls apart. It's that. It's literally that. And the biggest thing that definitely ruptured some stomachs and bellies for Xbox folks was this. This is very long-winded, by the way. This is literally a copy of the important email that the CEO of Xbox sent to every employee ever on July 6th, which was a couple days ago, by the way, July 6th. Basically, I'll give you the skinny. They're doing a significant restructure of the entire Xbox brand, history, the company, everything as a whole. As such, they made the difficult decision to reduce their team. And as such, approximately well over 1,600 different roles and jobs were eliminated. And in addition to that, 4 studios will leave Xbox to new management. Leave. Leave. I want to word that specifically to you folks. Leave. And unfortunately, it is not possible to make all the necessary changes in a single day, but they wanted to be direct about how big of a scale this is and how painful this is. Because a lot of it's, padding. But here's the most important part. Our business today is not healthy. They're operating at profit margins way lower than expected. They've entered Gen 9 with a smaller install base and a higher cost structure. They betted on Game Pass, multi-platform, and a broader portfolio of content, and basically that did them. They're operating basically in the negative with that. So basically all that time that they were spending advertising and pushing Game Pass didn't work. And a lot of their multi-platform stuff, while useful, wasn't also doing as much as they wanted. And having their broader portfolio of content, meaning beyond games and stuff, also wasn't doing as well. So, and they're hoping now that once they rip everything apart from the seams, they want a better outcome with all this. So, since 2018, they've basically spent the last 10 years combined on just a number of acquisitions of studios and buying and hoarding them up like basically like a, I don't want to say a fat kid or a crackhead, but basically the equivalent of someone who's just a little too excited for McDonald's, every day. Imagine a kid being told they can get anything they wanted at McDonald's, unlimited amount, and they just die within the first, hour or more. I really hate McDonald's, so that's the joke I wanted to make. Point is, they ate up and bought a bunch of studios, including smaller independent studios, indie studios, and smaller dev teams and companies, and even companies that were a lot bigger they bought, and they overinflated themselves, which a lot of people saw coming a mile away. And Xbox apparently said, no, it's fine. And then they're now dealing with the karma and repercussions of all that. So, now, I will say this. Compulsion Games and Double Fine Productions will actually return to the original owners and management and transition to independent studios with their IP catalog. Ninja Theory and Undead Labs have entered terms to join new ownership with funding to complete and grow their current games. And in France, Arcane's management is beginning required consultation, basically, to decide if they're going to be a studio or not. Right? So a lot of shit's going on. They also said they're making reductions just across the board with everything and focusing on higher priority projects. These include Activision, Bethesda, ZeniMax, Blizzard, King, Mojang, and Xbox Game Studios. So basically, Call of Duty, whatever Call of Duty nonstop shit of poopy, Call of Poopy, Skyrim remastered, the 85th time edition, now on your fucking heart rate monitor at this point. Diablo 85 billion, Angry Birds 10,000, and Mobile Game Slop, with the occasional, oh, hey, something from Xbox Game Studios that actually looks unique and independent and a real IP and something new. So, in addition, the mobile fucking people will now report directly to her. These two studios have increasingly becoming platforms and are our largest bi-monthly active players. Yeah, Because here's the fucking point. This didn't need to be said out loud for you Xbox players and for just PC players too. This shouldn't have to have been said out loud. But people underestimate mobile and tablet people. There is a very violent, fiery, supernova force of people who plays exclusively, not just the drunk single wine moms who, realize they shouldn't have had 50, kids, and realize after their 6th divorce, maybe, the thing that will reunite my soul is playing Candy Crush Ultimate Buzz edition and getting the level 800. Like, no, people really spend their money on this shit. So, they really do. So, basically, they're saying, it turns out a majority of our money comes from mobile and tablet users. Not Xbox specifically. Not the consoles. Not their relationship with PC. Not their multi-platform stuff with other companies. Not even the studios that they own necessarily. But from mobile games. Mobile games. Chat, listen to me, okay? Listen to me good. Alright, I'm gonna bring the webcam close for this bit. There. I think I'm a little too close. There we go. Heart-to-heart talk. Okay? For real. I shit on PlayStation, despite my loyalty for them. What they're doing has been absolutely donkey dick, okay? With deleting 500 movies and basically limiting the idea of you just don't own any movie you've watched anymore. And suck our nuts, and we will take your movies, and all that money you spent on movies gone. The idea of physical discs being gone forever from PlayStation literally rips and eliminates an entire core foundation of who they were in their history, and is just an immediate gunshot to the chest. Is how it feels. And they can, again, lick my greasy taint for this. And the idea that Sony also, by the way, I forgot to mention this in the Sony part of this, they're going back to doing live service shit. Yeah, they actually did not learn anything from Concord and have decided, you know what, we're going to go back to doing live service shit, because fuck it, why not? Who cares? Right? Who fucking cares? And yes, the PS3 and Vita stores shutting down is bad too. I love PlayStation. I really do. But even my brand loyalty can be shattered and broken. And this is some incredible fucking assholes that Sony and just Sony in general is doing. So, and I need you all to understand something. I have a deep history with PlayStation. Okay? I have bought multiple consoles throughout the years, including my own PS2, my own PS3 after it got yellow ringed of death, my own PS4 when I first got my job at Best Buy. And if it wasn't for the fact that I've been very lucky over the past couple years and have cashed in on good karma and luck from the multiverse, I would not even have my PS5 that you see right here. And this was sent from Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew sent me that. Mountain Dew. The fucking... These guys sent me a PS5. Yep. Even when the Subway Uncharted contest was a thing, years ago, a little history for you, I did not expect to win a PS3 in a collector's edition of Uncharted 3 at the time. But it happened. I never expect... The reason why I got a PS4 was I bought it when I worked at Best Buy years ago to get that limited edition Destiny collector's edition bundle. And I got it. The Taken King one. It's sitting downstairs in my archive. PlayStation's doing ass pulls, but so is Microsoft and Xbox. And they're just as fucked up because, oh, yeah, sure, we're ripping apart the company from the ground up and doing everything as a huge reset, but that still doesn't excuse what they're doing. There we go. Now we're normal. But yeah, still doesn't excuse what they're doing. So back to the thing. They're resetting their entire platform. They basically know that they're updating their tech. They're updating their platform. And as such, they're making themselves accountable, which is good. But holy shit. Why was there 14 layers of management at Xbox to begin with? Why? It didn't just blur accountability. It blurred the entire concept of what made Xbox unique. My God. Reducing management to no more than 5 layers, possibly 3. Yeah, holy shit. That is a lot. No shit. That means, by the way, that more people who have worked years and have gotten management positions and like cushy jobs at Microsoft and Xbox are also getting shit canned soon as well too. It's not just the studios. It's not just the employees, not just the coders. Everybody's getting their ass nuked. And finally, they're resetting how they operate as a whole. Basically, I won't go into too much detail, but essentially they're reestablishing like publics and relations responsibility. They're trying to deliver content across not just hardware and platforms and services, but just trying to revamp how they communicate and deliver the Xbox brand as a whole and bringing it back to what they were when they first started. So, now, here's the other thing. You're going to see a lot of people saying, like, you know, saying, oh, good news, this is great news, whatever. There's still a lot of bullshit. At the end of the day, yes, I will give credit to credit's due. Posting the entire email and full transparency was a very smart move and a very ballsy move. It was a very calculated move, and I respect the hell out of that 100%. And as such, Xbox earned some brownie points. You know what? Good for them. I will acknowledge the wins when they happen. And the amount of transparency for what is actually happening is great. But it never should have gotten this fucking bad. It never, ever should have gotten this bad. And 3,200 people losing their jobs is terrible. Actually, I'm going to play this clip.
We don't have the capacity.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. They just don't have the capacity anymore for all this. But man, eliminating that many people. Yup. Yup, basically this. It's basically this. And I mean, and it's not just that. It's a lot of things. It's a lot of really terrible things. But while Xbox is not as fucked up right now as PlayStation, I will admit that, and as Sony, 100%, they're still in the same fucking Trojan dumpster horse fire that Sony is too. And that's the point. But you thought we were done. Oh, no. You thought we were done. You thought that was it. We were just going to cover Sony and Xbox. Nope. I'm about to get some real flack from the YouTube community with this one because, oh boy, here we go. It's me, your corporate overlord. Woohoo! Yep. Nintendo's on the chopping block as well, too. Why? Well, be warned, some of this is going to be personal opinion, like it already has not been. But, like, there's been proof in the pudding that shit like this has been happening for a while. So I'm going to make it as blunt as possible. Nintendo never, ever puts out any sales for their actual games or puts, and not even that, never even marks down prices on their games. They are greedy, horrific motherfuckers. And the very rare instance that you see a Nintendo game on sale is not because Nintendo's doing it. It's because the company is trying to sell endless backstock of Switch games, have to put them on sale to drive up a markup or at least some revenue for Nintendo products. I'm just saying, go to any Target, any Walmart, any GameStop, anything. Nintendo products never go on sale unless it is a major holiday or once in a blue moon. That is it. Do you know how often games on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation go on sale? More often than I could even, like, breathe. I could inhale a breath right now like this. And in the same breath I am holding, there's a sale on a video game I've been wanting. Maybe that new Tomb Raider. I want to get the remaster. You know what? Maybe that new Stuntman when that comes out. Oh, that's already on sale. Oh, this cute little indie game on Steam. I could get that on sale right now. Nintendo does not do sales. And people have been saying this, including hardcore Nintendo fans for a while, that eventually this was going to bite them in the ass. And guess what? It fucking is. Because now, Nintendo games are operating at a fucking loss. Yeah. And part of the reason is not just because, oh, they're expensive fucking, games that people can't afford anymore. No, it's also because the digital key card bullshit Yes, I have heard about this. Yes, I have had many conversations about this. Yes, I've had many arguments about this that have been presented to me. Let's get into it for the very first time live. Look, as someone who has some minor previous experience with software and beta testing and like firmware updates and some minor coding and even some like sales marketing experience, right? I understand that if a game is too large and can't be put on a physical disc or cartridge or a flash drive and it's just too big of a file, fine. I understand that 100%. I get it. Sometimes shit just happens. We used to have games and movies that were on 2 separate discs back in the 2000s. My God, in the fucking 80s, cassette tapes had to split their entire album on 2 cassettes or 2 sides of one cassette. Or hell, 4 sides. Part 1 was on one cassette with 2 sides. Part 2 was on another cassette with 2 sides. I get it. Storage capacity, even in the Lord and Savior year of 2026, is still a fucking problem. But like, not every fucking game needs to have a digital key card download bullshit. Give me an actual shit. Not even a fucking cartridge or a digital key card. Give me a shitty little SD card that's the equivalent of a memory card, which are also not cheap anymore because of AI data centers and bullshit, and that I won't get into today, but it's there. Put them on a shitty little fucking... Hang on. Hang on. Prove a point. Hang on. Here we go. Hang on. To prove a fucking point. I have a SanDisk 64 gig memory card for my camera. My analog fucking camera. That's right, that I still use cameras. 64 gigs. Right there. You can even see it. 64 gigabytes of just pure memory. Right? You can literally load a fucking game. Right? On there. As a physical game on a physical memory card and have it all booted up on a memory card and still play the game. Easy. Not every fucking game needs to be a digital key card that just redirects me to the Nintendo fucking Wahoo Let's Go Lick My Balls eShop store to download a digital copy of the game that just gets on my system anyways, when what would be the fucking point of buying it physically just to get a digital goddamn fucking key card that makes me buy it digitally to begin with? And Nintendo fans just sit there and take it up the ass and just say, yeah, no, it's fine. This is the future. We're fine. So, it's fine. Because every fucking YouTuber, Let's Play, XX Pro Streamer 52, constantly does nothing but suck Nintendo's fat, girthy cock. And is nothing but a tryhard and streams nothing but Nintendo games, thinking that one day the great company will bless me with free games. That's not how that. Ugh. Look, I have brand loyalty. I know I do. I have a lot of brand loyalty at this point. It took a lot of hard work to do that. It took a lot of gusto and a lot of transparency and kindness and good luck and posting on social media when nobody else was tuning in or watching or noticing to do it. I don't get sent care packages from companies randomly just because I did nothing. I've gotten sent stuff from Synergy when I was an ambassador, from Hellman's Mayonnaise, from Mountain Dew, from like Charlie's Cheesesteaks, Papa John's, all these places, because I genuinely like the brand. It meshes well with what I like doing in my lifestyle, and I make organic content regardless if people watch it or not, that meshes well with their brand. It's called synergy. It's called fluidity. And constantly being exclusive only to Nintendo and praising song and dance about Nintendo 24/7 is not going to fix anything. Oh yeah, and by the way, also, while Nintendo doesn't have layoffs typically often, the difference is Nintendo keeps that shit behind the scenes. You don't hear a lot of Nintendo stories about layoffs and studio closures because Nintendo typically is pretty selective about who they work with, which is the whole point. And also, in addition to the key cards and the games never going on sale, let's talk about how they've just had indie games and shovelware slop that has been riddling the eShop. I have seen people post about it online. I've seen comments. I've seen threads. I've seen stuff like that. Like, look, Nintendo fans, you're not special. PlayStation and Xbox also has a bunch of shovelware and e-slop and indie slop and things like that. We all have it. There's a lot of good indie slop. There's a lot of good friend slop. There's a lot of good games that I'll admit, even I'm kind of like, you know what? This was pretty good. I like this. This was fun. I enjoy this, right? But like, Nintendo is a family company first, gaming company second at the end of the day. And the way they do a lot of their Nintendo Directs at fucking 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning and just expect everybody to be up with insomnia because they're announcing, I don't know, Pretzel Persona 7 is just insane. So, I don't know. There's a lot with Nintendo also that, like, despite everything, Nintendo is also trying to just they've been suing a lot of people, let's just say that. Also, apparently, like, Nintendo gets really ornery if, God forbid, you play any of their games or any of their older games in general. So, oh yeah, by the way, your Nintendo Switch will get bricked if you even so much as do anything customizable to it too. So there's that. Nintendo has been known to actually brick a lot of their customers' consoles for no reason. And also supply chain issues with Nintendo, and there's a lot. But let's get to the last contender. Oh yeah. Let's get to the last one. PC and specifically Steam. Oh boy. Yep, here we go. I'm not afraid of pissing off the Nintendo fans, the Xbox fans, or even my own community of PlayStation fans. PC fans. The PC purists. The PC elitists. The why you fucking... Hang on. Let me do this right. Hang on. Excuse me. Hang on. Pardon me. Allow me, if you will, a moment. No, that doesn't. Allow me, if you will. Ready? How dare you, Crash? How dare you so much as talk bad about our Lord and Savior Gabe Newton? And PC is the number one. PC is the way to go. Why would you spend money on a console when you could just get a fucking PC instead? Why don't you just build a computer? Why don't you just mod a computer? Why don't you just buy the $1,000 Steam Deck? Why don't you buy the $1,000 Steam machine? Why don't you just buy all the stuff that Gabe Newton tells you to do? What the fuck, Crash? Why can't you just buy it? And then they have fucking diarrhea in their diaper and yell at their mom to make them a Hot Pocket. And yeah, first off, let's get this right out of the way. I was actually excited for what I called the joke to the Gabe Cube, which was the Steam machine, if you will. The fucking the Steam machine news, right? I was quite excited for it. I genuinely was excited for it, right? I was genuinely hyped about it. So yeah. The Steam machine's 3D performance is just meh at best. The system recommends to default to 1080p, and some games take a really long time to boot on it. And on top of that, like the console itself runs the equivalent of basically less than a base PS5 in terms of like specs and stuff. Hell, an Xbox runs a little bit better than it, which is weird. And on top of that, like, yes, being able to have a decent system UI and boot up by pressing a button on your Steam controller is nice. Which, by the way, the Steam machine doesn't come with a controller. You have to buy that separately. And you have to have the Steam OS done, you know, however you can. But on top of that, right, like, the Steam machine also is rendered pointless because they literally came out and said, if you want to build your own Steam machine, here is the operating system and an update patch and a operating system update that lets you do it basically for free. And if you want the Steam OS like operating system, the system UI, you can do that if you have the parts to build your own fucking Steam machine. But the worst part is the price on the fucking thing. People were advocating the fucking Steam machine for so long. And you're telling me that the price of the fucking thing, right, is so insane. Because I understand it has an AMD Ryzen 5 whatever, as a Radeon RX graphics card. It has all this extra cool spec shit, right? But like, it doesn't matter because it's so expensive. The average consumer cannot fucking spend well over $1,000 for a Steam machine when, and say it with me now, hang on, let me use the PC people's logic against them. Are you ready for this? This is the sheer irony that I think all of you are waiting for. Huh. You're telling me all these years of yelling at my face and telling me, oh, just buy a PC or build your own PC instead? And suddenly, you're telling me that Steam wants to get in the console market and they finally did it, only to realize they sold an $1,000 to $1,200 cube that runs basically almost like a PS4 at that point, or like a cheap Xbox. You're telling me all the why not just build it yourself motherfuckers are suddenly realizing, oh, well, I had to spend $1,000 on Steam machine or $1,002 than on a console. Huh. It's almost as if the average PC, like a gaming PC, or an actual decent sized gaming rig for a desktop, costs oh yeah, how much does that cost nowadays? Yeah, about $1,000 or more, because of AI and data centers and drama and bullshit. So don't give me this, oh, you can just build it yourself and spend the money that way bullshit, when your same argument is being thrown right the fuck back at you. You bitch. Stupid bitches. It's like monkeys throwing poop, and then the monkey's throwing poop right back at it. It's what it is. Also, multiple people have been dealing with fucking glitches and hardware issues, and basically, for the first time in years, what looks like apparently red line of death, which is similar to the red ring of death. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Gabe is taking all the money from the Steam machines and the controllers and stuff, and basically said, all right, well, I'm gonna, instead of using all that profit and monies towards making our business better, I'm literally gonna go fuck off in the ocean and do actual science with scientists in the ocean. I'm not kidding about that, by the way. Not kidding about that. Gabe Newell literally up and basically said, all right, well, thank you for your money and all your patronage, and thank you for spending money on, everything. President of gaming giant Valve is using his immense fortune to fund deep sea research and push humanity forward. He's constructing a massive, too large amount research vessel that can hold a lot of people and explore under the ocean. He's doing good for humanity. which is great, but where the fuck do you think he's getting that money from? That's what pisses me off. Like, you can't counteract all of the shittiness of the PC community, your overpriced GameCube, your overpriced parts, and your controllers and your accessories, and the performance issues of PC games on your own operating system, and tell your own community, well, if you don't buy our Steam machine, fuck you, just make it yourself, piece of shit. And then go around and say, haha, thank you for all your money, I'm actually going to do good for it and do this. Which, by the way, this is expensive, by the way. Who the fuck has this much money to spend on a research vessel to go underwater and do all this? Yeah, he's basically doing a side quest and... Yeah. Yeah. Yeah! Yeah! Yeah. Let's not forget he owns the yacht company as well. Yeah. You know what? I rest my case. So, in conclusion, the gaming industry is completely fucked. It is completely fucked. So, it is absolutely, completely 100% fucked to the nth degree. Also, I'm reading comments now from chat, so, because I had to go on a tirade. Pickledilly Dandy says, hey, oh no, I had no idea that's what is going on. Oh, it's bad. Never thought Xbox would win points over PlayStation, in my personal opinion. I can't believe what's happening. They won points. Like I say, I will fully give credit where credit is due with Xbox, with what they're doing. But, like, at the same time, it's still fucked up that it got this bad. 14 layers of management and fuckery with Xbox. And they're being 100% transparent about it. I will give them the balls and the credit for actually just whipping it the fuck out and slamming it on the table. But, like, it should never have gotten to this point with Xbox. Let's see. I'm a Nintendo fan, or was a former fan. I'm very disappointed with what they're doing. I was a Nintendo fan too as a kid. I've had a Nintendo console starting from the original black and white Game Boy all the way up until I think it was the Wii. The actual Wii that I stopped being a Nintendo fan. And then only after years later did I finally get a Nintendo Switch. And the reason why was because it was gifted to me as a Christmas present from a great friend, Hardizak. And you know what I do with my Switch? I don't stream any games on it. Not once have I streamed any games on the Switch. You know what I do with my Switch? I buy a couple games occasionally and then trade them in once I'm done playing them. And that's it. I've played Super Mario Odyssey, great game. I've played Pokemon Arceus, good game. I've played the Metroid games, good games. I revisited some old classics, digitally downloaded, and good game. I've done all that. Right? But holy fuck, Nintendo is being a bunch of greedy bastards. I stayed away from the modding to be true to Nintendo, and they bricked my console anyways when they stopped support for the 3DS. Yeah, that was the other thing. If you have a 3DS, you're just completely fucked nowadays in 2026. You can't really do shit from Shinola with that anymore either. So that's been a fun hoot and a holler and a half, right? That's been wild. So, cause like unless you have physical 3DS games, right, that you can fucking play, or you know, you have physical, like, or you have downloads that you can re-download from your library, that's it. So, LOL, where's Daxus? This is for him. Just kidding. Fair enough. But, like, the PC stuff is terrible. It really is. And I'm so tired of PC players and PC people telling me, just mod and build your own computer. Just get your own PC. Just do this and this. And then go around and support literally a fucking Square that costs $1,000 to $2,000 that runs less than a PC in some cases. You don't sense the irony in this? What the fuck? So, yeah, so in conclusion, the gaming industry is completely on fucking fire. Sony's being a piece of shit. Microsoft's being a piece of shit. PC and specifically Valve is being a piece of shit. Nintendo is being a piece of shit. So what the fuck do we do? What's the solution? Simple. I never thought I would have to say this, but it's very simple. I'm going to take a sip of water for this. All right. Very simple. Save your money. Save your money. Just, I'm not telling you to stop gaming. That's not the message. I'm not telling you to quit gaming altogether, but just save your money. Go support mom and pop, like gaming stores or like smaller gaming, hole in the walls and stuff that sell like retro consoles, physical discs, physical cartridges, if you will, you know, that sell like retroware games. Go to conventions and support, you know, fucking like the people that are selling games and stuff that you can easily like buy from them, right? Go to garage sales. As weird as that sounds, go to like a garage sale in your neighborhood. See if they have any games and just spend money towards the people that need it for food and bills and shelter and shit. Fucking, if you have to buy digitally, then wait for a game to go on sale. Don't buy it first day. Don't pre-order it. Don't buy into the hype. Let other people and reviewers and people like that and news articles and these companies like IGN and fucking Gamer Ranks and I don't know, fucking Polygon, shit like that. Let them go through the motions, wait till the game goes on sale, and then get it. Right? Or, hell, you know what? If you're frustrated and sick of gaming altogether, go outside. Legit, go touch grass, pet a dog, go to a bar, go to a restaurant, go meet up with your parents, Go to a park. Go to a concert. Go to a library. Go on a trail that you've never been on before. Go, like, get tacos at a little taco truck, right? Go and, like, take a break from gaming. I'm not saying quit gaming, right? Because that's not what I'm saying. But, like, take a step back. Realize that your mom's credit card and the little bit of minimum wage that you get from Pizza Hut and Subway and Target and Best Buy, spend sparingly is the point. Because here's what's happening. And you'll notice a trend with all this. With PlayStation, they're offering 50% discounts to some users to resub back to PlayStation Plus. Because people were canceling their PlayStation Plus accounts and their subscriptions in protest because of the no physical games. Let them squirm a little bit. Xbox is trying to win people back by putting the effort back into just the games themselves. Wait till the games are fully out. Don't buy an Xbox Live subscription. Don't buy a new controller. Don't get a new headset. Just wait it out. Wait for them. Right? Nintendo. Listen, your games never go on sale, and Nintendo is just a bunch of greedy bastards. But what you can do, you can stop streaming Nintendo games. This is especially for you big Let's Play influencers. Stop streaming Nintendo games. Stop advertising Nintendo. Pull from the market. Just give yourself breathing room. Play other games that you've been wanting to play on other consoles and PC. Try something new. Explore something different. And don't subscribe to Nintendo Online. Don't buy into the My Nintendo Points stuff. Just do something different for Nintendo fans. And PC fans, look. It's not the first time I've gotten mad at PC people or computer people, but at the end of the day, practice a little empathy. Practice a little bit of patience. Okay? The best, you know what has helped me get people over to PC gaming? Tell them, hey, you know that game you've been playing on console and stuff? Dude, do you want to play together on PC and just hang out and fucking chat and talk over a pizza? Yeah, man, that actually sounds great. Do you have a PC? Oh, no, I'm sorry. I don't have a computer to play on games with. Oh, dude, that's okay. We could still get on Discord with your phone or tablet and just hang out and chat while we game and do whatever and hang, and discuss stuff. I would love for you to get a PC. I just can't afford it right now, bro. Like, that's the problem. Oh, well, I mean, have you looked at your options? I could help. Yeah, man. Actually, that would help me get off to a jumping point. Yeah, man. We can just hang out and chill tonight. And then if you want my help, there is an excellent website. There is a deal on these pre-builds. You could get a pre-built PC that's pre-owned, and you could just learn to maintain it. Treat your computers like you would treat your own car. Treat it with love. Treat it with care, maintenance, admiration. Treat it like a garden. You got to give it time to grow. Not everyone's going to make the jump from console to PC. And not everybody's going to make the jump from PC to console. But you never know what you're going to build and what you're going to have until you spread a little love and empathy and community. So, what was the point of all this? Really? Realistically? What was the point of all this? This entire rant? Well, I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you. At the end of the day, gaming is just becoming too expensive. Gaming is no longer becoming a hobby for people. Gaming is no longer becoming something that people can just sit and enjoy. Gaming is no longer a shared family activity, a shared activity with friends, your loved ones, your partners, all these things. Gaming is now becoming more and more about consume, consume, and consume. It is becoming less about the product, less about the game, less about the experience. And it's just becoming more and more about the commercialism of it all. Back in the 2000s and the 90s and the 80s, when gaming was first getting started, even in the 80s, it was all about the commercials, the experience, the friendliness that it was to it. In the 90s, it was all about trying to upgrade the tech, introduce people to 3D platforming, introduce people to new concepts, new ideas, pushing forward to the future. In the 2000s, it was all about exploring new ideas, new characters, scripting and coming up with these new worlds and exploring beyond what we could believe. Hell, even in the 2010s, it was all about family and community and stuff that you could do more with your friends and family, and just the casualness of it all. But in the 2020s, it's just all about fucking consumerism and money and single player story driven slop, multiplayer driven slop that's AI, slop that's just friend slop that's just shovelware garbage, indie stuff that has no thought or love put into it, AAA titles, and regurgitated crap from the same developers and publishers that I want you to play Snot of Duty 800 Snot's Revenge. They want you to play God of War, Kratos forgot to file his taxes. They want you to play Sonic Redux HD 2.5 Mania Supreme Bel Grande from Taco Bell. They want you to play Scratch It and Wank 85. Scratch It scratches it a little too hard. So, and look, at the end of the day, for as long as I still live and breathe, I'm still gonna be a gaming fan. But after all this, I'm definitely taking a step back, and I'm definitely reevaluating my relationship with gaming as a whole. Which is why I want to end the stream on this note. I'm starting a gaming channel on YouTube. There's going to be two different channels, technically. One that's going to be canonically lore focused, with me and Haruko's adventures and the crew's adventures. And the other one was just going to be me playing single player, story driven games, indie, AAA, slop, non slop, doesn't matter, and just enjoying single player experiences and just streaming them on there. It's not going to be a let's play format entirely, but it is going to be let's play in the terms of like I'm not recording necessarily individual episodes. I'm doing it by stream. So I'll be doing like, as a good example, I've been wanting to really dive into Astrobot, right? Great game. Or I want to play Silent Hill 2, the remake. I'm going to stream those games, but I'm going to play them for an hour or two, shut it down, and then pick it up whenever I feel like it, and another hour or two until I eventually beat the game. And then I'll list them as part 1, part 2, part 3, whatever. So, kind of reevaluating my relationship with gaming. And you should too. After all this has been happening, at the end of the day, you're the consumer. You deserve better. I'm Crash. Thank you so much for listening and watching and dealing with the chaotic nature that is the stream. I hate doing stuff like this unless it's absolutely necessary, because I hate just yelling into a mic and just spouting regurgitated hate and violence and anger and stuff. But I have to talk about shit that bothers me. That's the healthy thing to do, is to get it out of your system, is to not bottle it up, is to not let it build and fester. You have to let the toxicity out somewhere. And thank you for letting me getting that black vial of tar and gunk and goop and game gunk and probably a lodged Cheeto in there somewhere, who knows, out of my system. I don't care if people listen to this thing or not. I stream because I enjoy streaming. I make videos because I enjoy making videos. I never did any of this stuff or started any of this stuff because I wanted 1 million subscribers and brand deals and all this stuff. I did it because I just enjoyed doing it. The brand deals and sponsorships are all a nice bonus. They're all amazing, and I'm very thankful for all those opportunities that I continue to get to this day. And I'm never going to not stop wanting to get those things. But at the end of the day, that is not my major drive. My major drive is to provide cool shit for you guys to see. And with gaming right now, unfortunately, it looks like some things are going to have to change. I'm Crash. Thank you for watching, listening, putting this on in the background while you cook dinner. Or I guess in YouTube's case, throwing this on while you have YouTube Premium and, I don't know, eating cheese. Colby Jack, by the way. That would be my choice of cheese. Or Pepper Jack. Either one. That's it. Have a great day. I have to work tomorrow. I might have a stream or something tomorrow. Who knows? Or not. That's it. Y'all have a good night. And don't take everything I said to heart. Because I know some of you will. Don't take all of it to heart. At the end of the day, I just need to get the vile hate and sludge out of my system, because that's not who I am. So. Alright. Peace.